Here we are again. Another year, another FIFA. I've been buying these games for decades now. In fact, I'll be open and honest and say now that I've been playing these since my mum was kind enough to gift her little boy a copy of FIFA 98, and in more recent-ish years, I haven't missed an entry since FIFA 07. I think I went with Pez that year. What a traitor. I've seen the franchise go from the only football game in town to being second best to Pez and all the way back to the unopposed juggernaut it's become today. Though, I'd be lying to myself if I didn't admit that more than a few times over those years, I've had to sit back and say to myself, what was the point in buying it this year? It's basically a carbon copy of last year. And that's usually the biggest gripe with FIFA games for most players. So where does FIFA 20 stand? Is it worth another £50 purchase this year? Let's find out.
Out there, tricks and skills don't mean nothing if you can't use them to win a game. And you want to build a rep in this game, you gotta win. It is that simple.
First off, I want to apologise, as over the last few months, I've made fun of the developers for all their buzzwords. Buzzwords such as new ball physics, authentic game flow, and better player intelligence. Well, turns out they're all spot on. FIFA 20 is not without its issues, but I can confidently say that gameplay is far from one of them. This is not an overhaul like we've seen in previous years. It's still the same Frostbite engine from previous entries, but tweaked to perfection. The way the ball bounces across the pitch towards a player's feet no longer feels like a magnet. You need to control the ball as it comes to feet, giving the whole experience a more weighted and realistic feel. The way you set up the shots, draw in a foul, or run off a defender all feels a lot more realistic than the previous year, and does genuinely give the whole gameplay a feel of authenticity you won't find anywhere else. This doesn't mean the fun factor is gone. In fact, EA have fixed a few annoying issues that plagued last year's entry. The main one being that pacey forwards now have the ability to get away from a slower defender, making attack and play a lot more enjoyable again. Gone are the days of Per Mertesacker being able to close down the forward flying Kylian Mbappe. Free kicks and penalties have also had a much needed makeover. It feels a lot easier to place the ball in the top corner of the net than it did before. It's not too easy though. If anything, I'd say they found the perfect middle ground for these set pieces being a challenge, while also giving you the excitement of actually being able to score past your opponent if they take you down anywhere near their own goal. There's also been nice tweaks made to tackling, the way players come together, and goalkeeping looks to have a few new animations as well. All in all, I really can't fault the obvious improvements to gameplay mechanics in this year's game. Right, let's address the elephant in the room for all the single player guys like myself. Career mode. Oh, we were promised the world, weren't we? We were told all about dynamic player potential, press conferences, player morale, our own creative managers, and much, much more. Now, all these features are in there, but maybe not quite up to the standards I was hoping for. I do appreciate these additions and believe they make for a better career mode. Player morale seems too easy to control though. In my career mode, I've yet to find myself in a situation that was actually difficult to navigate. Press conferences often have the same questions over and over, with an obvious team-pleasing answer shoved in your face every time. Dynamic player potential, on the other hand, seems to be working well for me, and is a much welcome addition to the mode. I love that if I have a player I particularly like, I don't have to rely on their set potential. I can make them a star with the right amount of effort in training and playtime. These new parts of career mode are highly welcomed, but a few tweaks here and there wouldn't go amiss. Here's hoping for a patch soon. Now, I'm going to take a minute to address the more popular issues surrounding career mode. Any fan of the mode will have noticed the hashtag #FixCareerMode doing the rounds on social media this past week. Massive problems such as top 6 teams fielding weakened sides, leading to low finishes in the league for the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City. Things like fixture congestion and the edit player mode being absolutely broken are all game-breaking bugs that I can confirm are in the game. There's really no excuse for this, especially given how many of these bugs are reoccurring issues from previous games. It just goes to show how little EA think of this mode, and proves without a shadow of a doubt They either never bothered to beta test, or they did and decided to launch the game with the bugs regardless. Quite frankly, it's inexcusable, and just goes to show that despite getting our hopes up, FIFA Ultimate Team is still the number one priority for EA. It's worth noting that EA have responded to these bugs and have said that fixes are coming very soon in a patch. But here we are again, needing another patch. Speaking of FIFA Ultimate Team, I dipped into this mode. Turns out, it's still an utterly pointless feature that has zero redeeming qualities about it. It's there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to take advantage of people with addictive personalities who simply want to build a better team than their friend and will pay obscene amounts of real life money for the privilege of using top players who are free to use in every other mode of the game. I will never ever understand FIFA Ultimate Team and view it as nothing more than a leech on what could be the perfect sports simulator. None of this is a surprise though. I read once that EA make more money off FIFA Ultimate Team than they do from physical copies sold of the game itself. Wake up people, please stop being suckered into this garbage. Moving on to something a bit more upbeat now. Volta Football. Essentially, the return of FIFA Street. I was unsure what to expect from this. It has a story mode which feels like a direct replacement for the now vacant journey mode, which featured heavily in the last 3 titles. The story is okay, and probably more enjoyable than the dull affair of the journey mode's third outing, but still can't help itself from being a cheesy, cringe-worthy mess at times, though it does have its cool moments. Outside of the story, you play other CPU-controlled teams, and if you beat them, you can recruit a player to your Volta team. You can then edit each individual player in your team with cool outfits and hairstyles you unlock through the story. I found this to be really fun and an addictive thing to do. My only issue is that I wish you could edit the players' names and faces, as I would love to create my real life friends and use them in the story. It felt like a neat trick that EA missed out on. The gameplay of Volta is fun, and I have lost many hours to it already. My only nitpick is that when you play with keepers, it sucks the fun right out of it, and you're more than likely to finish with a 1-0 scoreline than a 5-4-1 you would with 3 vs 3. Also, Volta mode is unavailable to play online with your friends, which feels strange given it's in kickoff mode and you can play strangers through the Volta menu. Again, it feels like a simple yet wasted opportunity that could easily be fixed. Visuals are of course stunning. Year after year, EA have built and built to the point where FIFA is one of the best looking games on the market. Individual blades of grass, pitches tearing up, realistic looking light from both natural daylight and floodlights all look spectacular. What you're seeing on the screen right now really doesn't do it justice, especially when playing on a 4K TV. We have also been treated to new presentation graphics for the lower leagues and friendlies, making the entire experience lean even closer to the real thing than ever before. Players, for the most part, look great as well. That is, if you're lucky enough to play with a team that has updated scans. For the most part, the big teams are complete top to bottom with real life scan faces, and they look brilliant. Any teams from the second tier down is a mixed bag, and that's fair enough given the mammoth undertaking it would be to scan the thousands upon thousands of players in those leagues. A problem occurs though if, like me, you're a supporter of a recently promoted Premier League side. We know that EA have been out to these clubs to scan their teams, but the new faces are not there. It turns out they won't actually be updated until the November patch, and any tournaments or careers you start with those teams will not get the new scanned faces once the patch comes in. Meaning, if you want to start a career mode with the greatest team in the land, Aston Villa, you have to wait well over a month, and that really sucks. So, to sum up, we're currently waiting on a patch for scan faces for Villa, Norwich and Sheffield United. A patch which hopefully allows us to play with friends in Volta Football, and a patch to fix the inexcusable amount of career mode bugs. With all these much needed patches in mind, it's really hard to land on a final score. If all these little niggles were fixed on launch, I'd happily be sat at a 9 or above, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. The gameplay is nearly flawless, The visuals are a thing of beauty, and career mode has so much potential to be special, it actually hurts that it's not. Fix career mode. Let me play Volta with my mates, and give me John McGinn's beautiful mug, and I'll go 9 out of 10. Until then, I give FIFA 20 7.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Do you agree with my review? Are you loving FIFA 20? Or are all the bugs and broken things in career mode absolutely ruining it for you? Either way, let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our other videos right here on our YouTube channel. And if you can't get enough of FIFA, make sure to check out mine and Javier's FIFA Mode Battle, where we both take a team each and go head to head to see who can take our League 2 team to the Champions League the quickest. It's a lot of fun, trust me. Also, make sure to check out respawning.co.uk for all the latest news and reviews, and check out the Respawning podcasts found on Stitcher, iTunes and Spotify. And if you're feeling extra generous on this lovely day, make sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/respawning. That's it from me. Maybe I'll be back in November once everything's patched and fixed to give you my updated score on FIFA. Until then, take care of yourselves. I've been Mikey. I'll see you next time.